everyone, welcome to this Transformation Tribe talk. I'm so happy today to be joined by Rob Fawcett, who is a friend and colleague of mine. We've worked together, we've known each other for about 6 years.
6 years.
So we'll talk a little bit about how we met in this talk. Rob has just launched a really exciting brand called the Human CTO, which we're going to talk about as well today, which I think is fantastic.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everybody else will. And I think the timing is perfect because we're sort of halfway through the calendar year, coming out of the first quarter of the financial year, if you start in April, and people are starting to think about what investments they make for next year. So perfect timing. Let's talk about when we first met. 6 years ago, you were...
Contracting, yeah?
You were contracting.
Coming in to fulfill GDPR.
Yeah.
At the Energy Ombudsman, as
yeah.
it was known then. Came in short-term contract and never left.
Loads of stuff was going on because there was a new system as well being implemented. So your role sort of
expanded straight away.
Yeah.
So swiftly moved from the contracting thing over to IT director.
Yeah.
IT and data director. Stayed there for a period of time. Implemented all new systems. COVID hit.
Yeah.
Then was given the opportunity to create Lumen, which was their software arm now.
Wow.
The first subsidiary. So then Energy Ombudsman and Comms Ombudsman went to Trust Alliance Group, formed into the group. Lumen was the first subsidiary within that. That was developing software for them, for ADR, moving forwards as well. Really successful. And then I departed.
And you've set up this brand called the Human CTO.
Yes.
What is that?
So I've spent probably the last 10 years making a living out of just translating tech to business and backwards. And that has probably become my niche in terms of from the CTO standpoint. So the CTO has all the usual pillars: software, IT, data, now AI, strat, technical change. However, the translation from what the board's needing to what the business is doing, to what the humans inside the business actually need, that triangle is very rarely works right. But keeping it very refined into the human side of change, the human side of adoption, which is one of the key things, really understanding the clarity, confidence that the people need to use the tech in a way that benefits them, not just benefits the fashion that's going on right now, which is even more prevalent with AI. Yeah.
And you're speaking later on.
I'm speaking later on at Manchester.
Yeah, fantastic.
So AI user group. So
no, that's brilliant. And this human element comes down to leadership. Leaders today, the very fact that, so currently you're speaking about AI this evening. I was talking to somebody else about AI and what Elon Musk has just launched and what he's talking about. It can be pretty terrifying.
Daunting.
And I think if most people are honest, nobody really understands the opportunity, the risk, the impact yet. So I think leaders today are having to evolve really, really quickly, and they need to upskill, don't they? They need to adapt to these sort of winds of change that we're experiencing.
They do. Every exec, every leader now needs to be a little bit of a data director and a little bit of an IT director, all mixed into one. So who's operations directors, running people, hundreds of them on the floor, they need to understand what the technology can give them, and they need to start understanding better around what the data can serve for them, because that is now becoming their business. Everything is coming. AI is coming so thick and fast now. It's scary for even the technical leaders to keep on top of it. It's even tech leaders like myself, we have to really start carving out true time to stay on top of the current. Otherwise, your staff are wanting to use it. Or they're using it without you even knowing they're using it, and therefore your data and your business content is going somewhere that no one knows anymore. So it's really exciting, really daunting, but it's got to have the benefit as well.
And you overlay the human element of that, because in the Transformation Tribe, I always talk about people-powered transformation, because you can invest in amazing technology, amazing systems, but unless people want to use them and can see the benefit in them and the benefit to how they work and for their job satisfaction, they just don't go with it, and you really need to take people with you. And I guess you're elevating this up to the next level when you're talking about very senior leaders in business needing to have this tech awareness, this data awareness, digital awareness, but also remain human. How are you doing that then? What's the sort of proposition with the Human CTO?
Sure. So with the Human CTO, 3 bands of services. One is around translation.
Yeah.
And it's literally called translation services. That is around helping C-suite individuals, senior leaders, translate what their objectives are for the year to the people that are actually doing the job, and also helping them understand what they're hearing back.
Yes.
That's one part of it. Second part is around the actual technology itself. So that is around the how to use some of this, where it's moving, what to do. And it's not just AI, it's other technology, because we wrap everything up as AI now, but true AI has been around since World War II. It's a lot more advanced, but there are certain key tools that can help people on the floor move faster, feel more confident in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then the third part is fractional. So that's all recovery and repair.
Okay.
Dropping, it's me rolling my sleeves up, going in as fractional CTO, a week, half a day, an hour, to help provide them services.
Yeah.
So there are 3 strands that come with it. But the key one is around, all of them require the adoption, which leads into your world more than before. The change side of it, it was all AI 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. Now it's all AI adoption. So you look at LinkedIn, these type of things. But helping people to understand, what does adoption actually mean?
Yeah.
So it's got to have its purpose. It's got to have clarity. You've got to give them confidence. Otherwise, like I said, part of the stat tonight, 500 billion is estimated to be spent on AI this year.
Wow.
Worldwide, by the IDC.
Wow.
But only 25% of that is going to land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's on everyone's strap pack, it's on every board's agenda. Get AI in, push AI in.
Yeah.
But it's got to be used, otherwise what's the point?
Exactly. And we were just talking before we started recording today, 60 to 90% of strategies, change or transformation strategy, fails to deliver what it set out to deliver, or just falls flat on its face and it doesn't get off the ground in the first place. And again, that comes down to people and culture and that capability, starting with leadership capability, that investment that you need to make in leadership capability to actually have the resilience, the vision, and I think it's interesting you use the word translation, because it is that, being able to translate a leader's vision of a strategy to somebody like yourself, who can then further translate it into,
break it down.
Into a more technically subject matter expertise driven plan that's going to make the difference, but then closing the circle on that to get it back into the people doing the do. It's quite a challenge.
It's hard, and some of these senior leaders, they've got great ideas.
Yeah.
No idea how to implement them.
Yeah.
Because that's not their strength. Getting that vision out of their head, getting it down, challenging it as well, to make sure it's actually what's needed. That's hard. And part of the process, it looks really quick in my process map, how you do it. But that could be weeks of workshopping to really distill down, because that way you really eke out its true purpose.
Yes.
And you've got to be really honest with the purpose. Sometimes the purpose is to reduce costs. Sometimes it's to reduce overhead, because that's what AI is scaring the world that it can do right now. And it's what matters for the business. But as soon as you know what that purpose is, it's owning that and never letting it go. Yeah. Because it's just like any other project in the past, of any project management. As soon as you start veering away from what the PID originally said and the purpose for that, you're off doing lots of other things. The costs roll out. People get confused. There's no clarity. Therefore, they'll never adopt it. The confidence drops when they start using it. And all of a sudden, they're back on spreadsheets, and that's been parked. And it's simple as that. Yeah.
I think I like to look at AI and see the positives in it, because I think there are a lot of things that can be really scary.
Yeah.
When I look at the chart of evolution of human beings, and we started off at Neanderthal and we evolved to where we are today, I often think is the next stages of that to just avatars or whatever. And
What does it go down?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Do we become extinct as the human race? And this takes so it can be really scary. However, I've been doing a lot of work in social housing and developing leaders in the social housing sector. And one of the things that I see technology doing there and doing very well, their consumer base has increasingly complex needs. And because there is a housing shortage in the UK, only those most vulnerable are getting housed first,
Sure.
which means there's very complex needs of individuals living in these homes. And data can do a lot to help streamline processes, which is brilliant. And that frees up human time to go and do the human things which require human interaction with other human beings.
Yeah.
And I see that as a really positive thing. And I'm sure that's happening in lots of other sectors as well.
We'd like to think so, but it's sometimes not. That key point you said there is AI frees up the human from the mundane.
Yes.
So the human can engage more with the other humans.
Yeah.
That's one of the key things that's not happening everywhere. Whereas it's been deemed as a cost cutting for certain things, whereas it should be exactly like you said, to free up the people from doing the day-to-day admin that AI is very good at doing, so they can engage with the other people and that trust starts building with the businesses again.
Yeah. And when we talk about the cost of leadership, so I work really hard to help businesses make their case for change, to present to the board why they need to invest. Mm-hmm. And often that is around building organisational capability. And often businesses that are embarking on change see a spike in the first 18 months when they commence big change or transformation. And people can get quite nervous about that because mm-hmm. some of the return that you see, especially if it's around cultural ways of working, isn't easily predictable, but you know it's going to come. Some things are more easily predictable when they are data or technology enabled, but then I find the challenge is actually realizing that in action post implementation of whatever it is.
Yeah.
How do you, in the services you offer, help make that happen? Because I know when we did work together, that was one of your real strong points around implementing change, getting it embedded and actually reaping the benefit of what's been implemented from a system or from a technology change.
Yeah. So for me, it's pretty straightforward. You just don't forget that you've done it. You don't move on to the next project that quick. So when it comes to the technology projects and these things get embedded in, you put one in, and then when you line up to the next one, it's only 80% of the time. And then if you've got another one, it's only 80% of that. So yours operates a maximum amount that you can facilitate over a period of time. So that way, you put one in, you embed it, you see the meaningful change take place, and then you go back and you take the benefits from that meaningful change.
Yeah.
Because you'll never know. That's the greatest thing when people talk about, well, it's phase 2 of a project. It's never a phase 2. It doesn't happen, or it's a different project.
Yes.
This really means a phase 2. We've seen it, we've watched it embed, we're now getting the data results from it. We're now going to use that.
Yes.
That's as simple as it is.
Yeah. Do you see the mindset in businesses changing? Because one of the articles you wrote, which I really liked, was people expect a linear plan and nothing ever. I get asked for linear plans. I know you get asked for linear plans. And when you're dealing with big change programs, yes, you can have a pathway, but the sequence of work never runs exactly. No, it never does.
No.
Are you seeing expectations change?
No.
Okay.
Love to say yes, but no. People are starting to replace that linear plan view with, I want to know where the roadmap's going.
Okay.
Because that is a little bit of a change, actually. So it gives them a little bit more flexibility when you're explaining, well, a roadmap, and you've got more options that can come off the back of that. But in terms of people wanting to know how long that piece of string is and how long it takes that piece of string to burn, that's not changing. If anything, that's getting shorter.
Okay.
The world is becoming more and more, how deep does this sound now? More and more impatient.
Okay.
People want results faster because they see this is moving so fast, so why can't I have my results that fast? And the technology and the data, it says it can do it, but it's only as good as the people that are using it, or the people that are having to use it but don't know why they're using it or don't know how. And that's where the leadership thing steps back in. The leaders are now strongly having to communicate more than ever. It's not a case of we're going to do this, these are the outcomes we're looking, these are the key results to be able to attain it, and this is the return. They're now having to start to embed that human communication of the benefit to the employees as well as the customers or consumers. Because it's a two-way street. It has to be, especially off the back of COVID, especially off the back of more organisations are returning back into the office more than ever before. These last 3 months, recruitment's just changed. 4 days back in the office. Most adverts are now stating online. So, and that's going to be a big shift. So people have got to be enticed more than ever to work for the organisations that we do. Everyone, we sound spoiled, but it's the way of the world.
And I talk about a 4Cs model that I've developed when going in to assess where businesses are when they start to embark on their change program, and it's designed to help their leadership team, their CEO, figure out where to invest, what to invest in, and how much, and is it going to be worth it? And it looks at the capacity. So where is the capacity in the business to actually deal with new stuff, to deal with this change? Where is the capability of the business, including the leadership team, in terms of, are they equipped to deal with this? What skills, what capabilities do they need personally, and the tools that they're using to do their job and to lead and run the business? Then I look at the kind of culture of the business, and then looking at the data and thinking, is this business actually change ready? Has it actually got the appetite to do this? Are the board committed to do this? Does the data create that compelling case for change? And it kind of paints a really interesting picture, especially when you're talking about building organisational capability around leadership. Are you, in the conversations you're having early doors, I know with Human CTO, but are people more receptive to investing in that leadership development, or are you still having to work quite hard to get them to think about it?
They are more receptive because they are open to new approaches more than I've seen in the past now. Typically without utilising people like yourself, they go to one of the big six, come in, drop in a boilerplate deck, standard org design and org capability assessment to be able to run through. And even organisations start to move away from that now. And they're looking for that unique, niche, sometimes slightly quirky approach to how they want their leaders to be coached, even their leaders to be mentored, to be upskilled, and also starting seeing they're wanting more and more touch bases over time. So it's not it's a week's course anymore. It's a 2-day course to get them in it, and then there's more coursework like school. The GCSE exams are over now. Now we're stepping into the apprenticeships world again.
And is this what you offer? You talk about the fractional support through the Human CTO. Is that the type of thing that you offer then, building that sort of internal bench strength?
It is. So I won't go in and do 3 days a week session. Because 20 minutes later, people forget what they're getting taught after that. So I'm not a big fan of them compressed courses. It's not something that I offer. What I do offer is half an hour a week, touch bases, because it's the scenarios that they are facing they need the help with. It's not sometimes an approach to everything in one go. Getting them to help with a method, fine. Can help with that. But then touch bases on their day-to-day scenarios and little tweaks, that friendly ear on the end of the phone, just to be able to listen to that. That's what I'm starting to see people want more and more.
I love that. I'm a massive fan of action learning because I think that's what helps people retain the knowledge. There is nothing like sort of learning on the job, and especially with such a new subject around AI, what it can do for technology, how it's impacting, even how very strategic leaders are making decisions and the decision-making power that they have, and how to question things, how to validate things. It's changing. So I think those action, short, sharp, you call them touch bases.
It has to be.
Brilliant.
It's moving so fast. So just that, a month ago, I inquired around doing a master's in AI.
Yeah.
No university can give me a course that lasts 2 years because they know at the end of 6 months it's changed.
Yeah.
So that's the world we're playing in right now, where universities can't say what they're going to teach people.
Yeah.
We know it's moving really fast, maybe too fast.
Brilliant. Wow, fascinating. So if you're a CEO, you've got a team of 12, say, senior people that you know need to understand what AI can do for their part of the business. How does the Human CTO help with that then?
So if I use the university as an example, their sole purpose is to provide that education over a set period of time. If institutions like universities can't keep on top of the pace of the change with AI, how can CEOs expect their businesses and themselves to do the same? So part of the services that the Human CTO provide is the fractional drop inside. So people like myself, we live and breathe in these networks. We stay on top of the current trends, stay on top of the fashions, help people orientate where not to go, where to go.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the service of being able to come in half day a week, an hour a week, a day a month, to be able to give people them tweaks, them turns, specifically in their strategy as well, where they're wanting it to go. Because they could be setting off with a 2-year, 3-year strategy that they may not know in 6 months' time. There'll be no point because there'll be an app that will do that for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's keeping on top of that, and they're the type of services that we're able to offer.
So I guess it's helping them make wise investment decisions. And then I know you're not a fan of large blocky sort of modular training, and I really like that because I'm a fan of sort of action-based learning, especially when it is such a new subject and people are adapting to that sort of change curve. It's those short, sharp bursts in the moment really do add value, don't they?
And they keep it on top. They keep it relevant, because if I went in and I sat and I gave 10 execs a 5-day intense course on how to use AI right now, in 6 months' time, it's gone. So that's a waste of investment there. Whereas if they're plucking days or hours over a period of time, they're getting all that as they go. So it's keeping them on top. Also helps them start understanding how to grow themselves as well. So one day they'll need it because they can be self-sufficient.
So it's investing in your leadership development, but in a more bespoke, niche way than previously before. It isn't just a case of here's a block course, everybody go on it. It is very much tailored to the business.
Orientated and bespoke to their business.
Yeah,
their
fantastic.
Outcomes and what they're trying to achieve.
I love that. I love that. And you're growing your network. You where did you speak last week or last month?
So last month it was the UK Northern Bletchley Park AI.
Group,
wow. Which is great. That's a group that's been born out of Bletchley Park. From turning in World War II. So it's quite prestigious. It's just very nice to be invited to that. Off the back of that, there's been a couple more invites. Tonight I'm speaking at the Manchester AI Study Group. Same presentation, Hype to Help. And that is around, these are technical people in the room, that is around helping these technical folk translate what the business is asking of them, them understanding how their roles are changing as well, because they have to safeguard this.
Yes,
now,
of course.
And to be able to then communicate and provide, retranslate that back up so people understand the roadmaps. They can start aligning strategies with objectives with what the people are doing on the keyboards.
Absolutely brilliant. So if you like and subscribe to this channel, all Rob's Human CTO details will be in there. There'll be links to Rob's bio, links to Rob's next presentations, and I'm sure if people want to contact you and maybe discuss you going and presenting to their business or a forum, I'm sure you'd be more than happy to do so. Fantastic. And what does the next sort of 6 months look like for you?
So next 6 months is growing the brand. Been out there a month now. Creating that client base moving forward more so, but also I've already got the next 6 months worth of free work lined up for UK not-for-profits and charities. And to me, that's one of the key things. These are the organisations that need the efficiencies as much as possible. Don't necessarily have the money to be able to do that, so helping them, giving them the steers, the twists and turns, how to navigate technology now, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And those charity sectors, that is where technology can really free up human beings as well, and human beings working in those charities are really under pressure for funding and resources now. So that's a really fantastic thing to do. So watch this space. What is you've got a newsletter, you've got a...
I do. To go through a change in the minute, so from my LinkedIn, there's the Beyond the Title series.
Yes.
A couple of posts a week, articles come out from that. They are now showing on the website.
Brilliant.
I'll pull my finger out to get that done. So they're going to do it. Also going to be pulling in podcasts for people to listen to these articles whilst in the car, because that's what I do. I don't have time at home.
No.
So I use the car. That's what it's getting shaped for.
Fantastic. Good luck. Well, watch this space. Cheers, Rob.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Cheers.